POCO has been one of the most anticipated smartphone brands in the country as they are known for budget-friendly gaming smartphones. In this video, we will be taking a closer look at the POCO F5 to see if it lives up to its slogan, the origin of speed. What's up guys, Earl here at PB Tech, and this is our review of the POCO F5. Now to give you a backgrounder, this device packs a brand new Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 processor, a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED panel, and has a 64 megapixel main camera. If you are interested in this smartphone, then continue watching. The POCO F5's design looks very minimalistic. The back panel is made out of a high-quality polycarbonate material with a carbon-like pattern, but do note that the back panel has a glossy finish, making it very prone to fingerprint smudges. Also, here at the back, we can find the POCO branding as well as its triple rear camera setup, along with a dual LED flash. Up front, we got a sizable 6.67-inch display with a punch hole cutout in the middle for its selfie camera and the call speaker up top. The frame, however, does feel like it is milled out of an aluminum material, which is pretty neat. For buttons and ports, starting on the right side, we have the volume rocker and the sleep wake button that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Nothing can be found on the left side, while we do have a secondary speaker, secondary microphone, IR blaster, and the 3.5mm headphone jack up top. Lastly, at the bottom, we have the dual SIM card tray, primary microphone, speaker grills, and the USB Type-C port. Even though it is a plus-size smartphone, it is very easy to grip all things to the chamfered edges and flat sides. In addition, it also has IP53 splash-resistant rating, which is also a plus. For the display, the POCO F5 boasts a 6.67-inch Flow AMOLED dot display, and it has a resolution of 10400 by 1080 and 120Hz refresh rate. As expected on an AMOLED panel, we have punchy colors with real blacks and is also legible when used outdoors. The display also does look clean as the bezels are asymmetrical. Gone is the chin that we always complain about on most smartphones in this tier. The 6.67-inch display is a sweet spot when it comes to watching content on Netflix, YouTube, and even browsing TikTok or Reels, as it is the aspect ratio for those platforms and takes advantage of this device's display. Now when it comes to its speakers, the POCO F5 has a dual speaker setup, one down at the bottom and one at the top of the device. Well, the speaker quality is okay, nothing exceptional about it. It sounds okay and it's loud enough for when you casually want to listen to music, but when watching movies, we do recommend you to take advantage of that 3.5mm headphone jack up top or pair it up with your favorite TWS for a much more better experience. For performance, powering the POCO F5 is a Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 that features an Adreno 725 GPU, up to 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, and 256 gigs of standard UFS 3.1 storage with Liquid Cool Technology 2.0. I didn't encounter any issues or whatsoever when using this device as my daily driver, it coming from an iPhone 14 Pro, though not really comparable in so many stages, but surprisingly, the POCO F5 handled all the things I throw at it. From basic social media and browsing the web, to editing TikTok videos for our Yugatech TikTok account, follow us there if you haven't already, and even editing raw photos in Lightroom. I'm not much of a gamer type of person, but when I tried running those graphic-heavy games such as Asphalt 9 and Call of Duty Mobile, I haven't encountered any issues, although mostly I'm running it on medium settings. But when I tried bumping it up to highest graphic settings available, surprisingly, the POCO F5 handled it pretty well. Sure, there are frame drops from time to time, but it is barely noticeable. The POCO F5 will feel a little bit warm to the touch when playing games or even doing some heavy multitasking for a prolonged period of time, but it is quite normal. If you are interested in benchmark scores, here are the results that we got. The benchmark you are seeing here is pretty much a hair close to the ones that we got from the POCO F5 Pro with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. Very impressive if you ask. Now when it comes to the POCO F5's camera, we have a triple rear camera setup here consisting of a 64 megapixel main camera with an aperture of 1.79, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens with an aperture of 2.2, and a 2 megapixel macro lens with an aperture of 2.4. Now for selfies, we do have a 16 megapixel shooter with an aperture of 2.45. Now when it comes to the camera quality, the output here is pretty average for its class. The image looks okay, colors are accurate, HDR is observed, and there is an Apple detail on every shot. Things might change a little bit in dark environment, as both the main camera and ultra-wide camera can sometimes struggle on capturing the right color of the subject as well as producing detailed images. You can also take advantage of that full 64 megapixels, but there isn't much of a huge difference between a photo taken using normal. Night mode is also present here, but it doesn't really do anything other than just boosting the saturation of the photo. Macro are also present here. Yeah, it is cool, but forgettable. We are not really a fan of this, and the quality is just okay. Video, on the other hand, is surprisingly good. The POCO F5 can shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second on primary camera and a maximum of 1080p at 30 frames per second on the ultra-wide camera. It does have OIS, making the video output buttery smooth. And just like what we see in photos, colors are accurate with ample amount of details. HDR is also present. Running on the POCO F5 is Android 13 skinned with MIUI 14 for POCO. If you happen to have a Xiaomi or a Redmi device before, you will feel at home here. The UI feels clean, aside from those pre-installed games and apps in which you can easily remove or uninstall. Haptic feedback is also good on this device. It is a little weak as compared to Apple's, but comparable to that of some Android flagship devices in the market. From typing to even just clearing your notifications from the status bar, the haptic feedback on the POCO F5 makes the device feels much more alive. For battery, the POCO F5 packs a 5000 mAh capacity with support for 67-watt turbo charging, which promises 0 to 100% in just 46 minutes, which really does translate in real-life situations. During our testing, the POCO F5 lasted as a good 1.5 days of casual usage, which includes browsing the web, scrolling through my social media accounts, all under Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, we are getting almost a day when doing heavy multitasking and editing photos and videos, and scrolling through my social media accounts under mobile data. In our book, this real-life battery benchmark is good. But if you are interested in our video loop test and PCMark's Work 3.0 battery test, flashing the result on screen right now. Now, to conclude this review, the POCO F5 is a good smartphone. It is playing between the mid-range and flagship device segment in the Android world, and considering that the POCO F5 is the first smartphone that has a Snapdragon Gen 2 chipset, you can really expect that this device won't fail you when it comes to performance. Cameras are also promising, aside from that macro lens that we really hate in general, as it could have been a telephoto lens instead. Battery, on the other hand, is also decent, and nonetheless, you can't really say anything negative about this device. The 8GB plus 256GB of internal storage variant will cost you 20,999 pesos. Meanwhile, the 12GB plus 256GB of internal storage is priced at 22,999 pesos via official e-commerce channels. The POCO F5 will be available for purchase at an early bird price of 18,499 pesos for the 8 plus 256GB of internal storage and 20,499 pesos for the 12GB plus 256GB of internal storage starting May 9 via POCO's official store in Shopee. We can give the POCO F5 a recommendation score of 8 out of 10. And there you have it, guys. What do you guys think about this new gaming beast from POCO? Do let us know in the comment section below, and if you find this video helpful, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you won't miss any future uploads, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit ukitech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Arel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.